Good evening again. I hope you're enjoying dessert. We will now move to the very last portion of this awards gala, and that's our keynote presentation. In order to introduce our keynote speaker, I would ask the IEEE Canada President, Wahab Al-Mutadi, to join me on the stage and do an introduction for our keynote.
All right. I think, where is Ibrahim? All right. So, I do have the privilege and I'm honored to read a little bit short bio for my dear friend, Dr. Ibrahim Gideon. If in the back, can you hear me guys in the back? In the back, the conference attendees. All right. All right. Dr. Ibrahim Gideon is a distinguished telecommunication executive engineer and technology leader with more than 35 years of experience spanning broadband, wireless, and IP networking, nationally and internationally. He serves as Executive Director of Guardian Safety Net and previously held the role of CTO of Talos, and currently is the CTO Emeritus of Talos, and this is the first time in industry to call somebody by CTO Emeritus. And IEEE fellow of the Canadian Academy of Engineering. He is internationally recognized for advancing next-generation communication network and for his leadership in innovation, digital transformation, and engineering excellence across the global telecommunications industry. Ibrahim now is focusing on public safety networks, which became the hot topic these days, also is dedicating to quantum and artificial intelligence. I would like to invite our keynote speaker to come to the stage. Thank you.
Okay, so good evening, everyone, and I don't know if anybody told you, like Fabrice, you did a brilliant job, so thank you, but these lights are friggin' blind, like they're blinding. So I just want to start off, like it's very tough being the last person to speak, don't you guys think so? Like you've had some amazing intellectual stimulation with the IEEE awards and the fantastic achievements that we saw Canadian-wise. So I just want to humbly say thank you for letting me be your dinner entertainment tonight. Then I realized we finished dinner. I can't use that word. Thank you for letting me be your post-dinner entertainment. So when I was invited, Wahab, a good friend, and he knows that there's a small piece of IEEE in me no matter which job I've got. He says, Brahim, can you come and say a couple of words, any topic, you know, like because you're kind of a little bit not typical, and just be you. So I thought a lot about it. I said, okay, Wahab, 5 minutes. He says, 5 minutes? Like, like you're the keynote. How about an hour? And then I realized it's IEEE, right? And things come in 30 or 60-minute increments. So we negotiated over the phone, and we finally settled on 10 minutes. So let's see how well I do. So, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, I want to talk about the two most overused terms. Do you know what they are? The two most abused and overused terms, and perhaps the least understood words in our industry: artificial intelligence and sovereignty. So, by the way, my background is a researcher. Then I realized you can be fantastic and make the world a better place, but you have to be an executive to make money. So I decided to abandon the purity of research. So, AI and sovereignty. You'd think these are like existential priorities, right? Like it feels like they rank higher than water, food, education, and healthcare. But I digress. I have to tell you, I've never written a speech down, but I thought it's so important to get something like this right. So bear with me. So at its core, sovereignty is about independence, the ability to make choices, of course, resiliency, control over what matters when things change, right? When times are not so good. And of course, there's a bit of ego, right? Like I'm using Canadian something, or American something, or Italian something, or whatever it is something. COVID reminded us very clearly that supply chain is very critical. Like I remember the toilet paper stories. People lined up, oh my God, so-and-so's got a special on toilet paper, and you can get more than one roll. PPE mattered. Geopolitical significance of things like vaccine. So people know what sovereignty is, or they think. But when it comes to AI, it gets a bit fuzzy. I don't know if you agree with me or not. What is an AI supply chain? Do we really know? I mean, does anybody have a clear view on that one? Okay, like whatever I'm saying, I'm sure the servers are not happy because they're clinking way louder on the plates. For those who know me, I apologize in advance. The story will not change regardless of the clinking, so I'm going to keep going. So what does sovereignty really mean for us, right? So the question is simpler for the average person. And I smoked the pipe, which is, by the way, for all the young kids, don't smoke. And I said, like, I need supplies, and Montreal is a great place, very diverse. And I said, okay. He says, you wrote an AI book, Brahim. I need to know, will it replace my job? So the average person, no matter where they are around the world, doesn't care about sovereignty and AI. They just care, do they have a job tomorrow? So keep that in mind, because that's the person that votes, not me and you. We're not a big constituents. And for those of us in the field, we don't actually explain it very well. Sometimes because it's in flux, we're defining it ourselves. So let me make it a little bit personal on what I'm seeing as happening around. I grew up in Lebanon, civil war, occupations by few friendly neighbors. And for over a decade, normal life did not really exist. Survival meant hoarding. You just bought whatever's available. You never knew what the hell was available, so you just bought it. Sugar, lentils. How much sugar, how much lentils? Nobody knows, but you know what? They're available, so you never know. And those were not theoretical questions for us. They were a matter of, that's how the world is. There's gasoline today, great. How much it doesn't matter how much you need, you just buy it. And I listened to how we talk about AI today. And I'm not insulted, because people only communicate to their level of intellectual capability, but it's the same mindset. We talk about sovereign AI factories, sovereign AI fabric, sovereign compute, but do we really know what that actually means? And we're all the technologists in this room. If I say sovereign fabric, who can raise their hand and tell me anything beyond it's a data center that resides in Canada? Without insulting the names, they're all friends of mine. So we don't really understand what we're building, I would say, in a bigger scheme of things. So AI runs on data, cool. Keeping Canadian data in Canada is important, but that's just such a small piece. What about the rest of the stack, the hardware, the software, the intellectual property? Where's that going? So Canada is investing heavily in compute and infrastructure. I don't know about you guys, but these assets seem to depreciate pretty rapidly, right? And then we all know Moore's Law. I see Professor Sami Mahmoud here, like he was one of my bosses at Bell Northern Research. Every 18 months, shit changes. So whatever you bought, whatever you invested, whatever is sovereign is old in 18 months. I don't know about you, but lentils have a larger shelf life than hardware. So, as much of this infrastructure is not even Canadian, but we're happy and we're sovereign. And I realize I have a lot of colleagues from the US in particular, so it kind of applies everywhere. But we have to ask, what does sovereignty really mean here? Is it ownership? Is it control? Capability? Proximity? Is there a plan? So as we all get excited, because everybody I talk to here is applying for a Department of National Defense grant, which is really cool, and I hope you get the money. But when we throw the word AI, do we actually understand what we're saying? Right now, it feels like we're funding pockets of innovation as a nation, some excellent, some less excellent. Is that a word to use? Like, I'm trying to be polite here. Maybe not so good. And they're not necessarily coordinated. Like, I could be nice and say they're loosely coordinated. I can't figure how the hell they are, but I'm being nice. They're loosely coordinated. So Canada is 40 million people. People, I love this country. Don't get insulted. We are a small nation. If you add every citizen in Canada, we're less than the greater Sao Paulo area in Brazil, or Mexico, or Shanghai. So let's be very honest. We're a small country spread across a massive geography, and we cannot afford to be unfocused. So what are the critical elements of AI sovereignty for a country like ours? All you see is every province is building data centers. Every telco is offering sovereign AI. As a geek, I'm trying to understand what the hell that means. So is it hardware independence, supply chain diversification? More importantly, is it talent development? And then I was reminded by my good friend, and retention, because we are losing good talent. Is it open source? Like, if a country like Canada, is that something we should invest in as open source? Or maybe just partner with strategic nations like ourselves, same size, 40 to 100 million people, developed nation, and let's see. So realistically, these are our options. So we either collaborate intelligently or we lead in areas where scale is not the advantage. But both of these require serious investment in people and intellectual capital. So let me ask you this question, speaking as researchers, and I'm glad I have some US colleagues here. None of our governments are talking about investing in people, intellectual capital. We're building stuff. More factories for our American neighbors because they can't, for whatever warfare, whatever. For us, we're building data centers. We could build guns too. But I'm wondering, where's the discussion on intellectual wealth and investment in people? And that's why I'm concerned. That's not the case that was in '86 when I was a graduate student. God, I'm that old. We talk a lot about infrastructure. We talk less about talent, education, and long-term innovation frameworks. I know in Canada we distribute funding, but do we do it strategically? We have this big cop-out that the federal government dishes out the money, but we spend it provincially. And I think we lose the story. Speaking as a nation here, you do know that we had 3 centers in the top 10 in the world. Amy in Alberta, Mila in Montreal and in Quebec, and Vector in Ontario. And I think the latest ranking is none of them are in the top 10 or 20. But hey, we have a lot of sugar and lentils. So I come back to the main question, how much is enough of anything? Enough for what and enough of what? Because sovereignty without a strategy is accumulation. Accumulation without purpose is not leadership. The future of AI in Canada will not be defined by data centers alone. It'll be defined by people. It'll be defined by this audience. It'll be defined by our researchers and our innovators. It'll be defined by bodies like IEEE that promote cross-collaboration internationally. You can put as much hardware as possible. You can buy as much infrastructure in the world. Talent needs to be built. And the reason I'm saying this is you. This is the bulk of the people here. And I worry about intellectual capital because that's the only asset that you cannot immediately buy. You can immigrate it, but you can't stockpile it, you can't depreciate it. It's always here, it's always there. So if we truly believe in sovereignty on technology front and in AI in particular, we must invest where it matters, and we must align around a clear national vision. I don't need a provincial vision. I don't need a very compartment. Like we're 40 million people. We're half the size of the UK, if not less. So we need a single vision, single strategy. There is a window of opportunity. Canada's got some great geeks, great universities, great researchers, and we're nice people. But that window is shrinking. And at a global level, if you're not part of the AI ecosystem in a value-added way, you're actually going to lose economically. So it should be a primary goal no matter what the technology is to discuss. So we can decide what we want to do. So the future is not something that happens to us. It's something that we have to decide to build. So not trying to depress you. The opportunity is there. Work it, and thank you for the opportunity. Good night, and God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Brian Gideon, for an excellent presentation and for your time being with us here today. We do have in the back the future researchers and young professionals, and I hope that the message has been resonated to them to know about the sovereignty and to know about artificial intelligence, how is going to help in so many fields, in so many areas, and also has to be regulated. And IEEE also now is focusing on how to create standards and policies for artificial intelligence. And as far as I know, IEEE started 2 years ago, and some kind of standards will come along for artificial intelligence and hopefully for quantum. So with that, Dr. Brian Gideon, I would like to call for the end of today and to thank all our VIPs and guests, and to congratulate once again the awardees and the winners of IEEE Canada Major Awards of 2026. So I would like to invite our VIPs to the stage, starting with our President of IEEE, Mary Ellen Randall, the President-elect Jill Gaston, the VIP-elect of Technical Activities, Eileen Yanner, Dr. Rabab Ward, the Award and Recognitions Committee Chair, the Vice Chair of the Awards and Recognition Committee, Dr. Sami Mahmoud. Is Rabab here? Step down. And of course, our region directors and region director-elect of Region 6, Joseph Way, Region 9, Director Ignacio Castillo, come to the stage. Director-elect Scott Tamashiro, Region 6, Patrick Donahue, Region 3, Director-elect. And of course, we do not have to forget about keynote speaker, Dr. Ibrahim Gideon. Ibrahim. And also the most wonderful Master of Ceremony, Dr. Professor Fabrice Labo, Vice President of McGill University, please. And the most important things here is the awardees, starting with Magnatin, Versenden, come to the stage, please. We will take photos. Gottlieb, outstanding engineer, please come to the stage. Sherman, please. All of you, the winners of today. Alfred, you. And who is else? Maury McDonald. James Alice. Khalid. Did I miss anybody? Please. Mario, darling, you are in the center. All right. And where is Amir? Amir, also the past president of IEEE Canada. Please. Did I miss anybody? All right. Thank you. I will join you now. And if you don't mind, this is all in the honor and congratulations to the winner of 2026. Please take the name tag from you, if you don't mind. And once again, congratulations to our winners of 2026.